Hi, welcome. In this video, I will be presenting to you how I deal with the growth in elongating species in my collection, specifically in this case, uh, spruce, Picea abies, and larch Larix laricina. In both cases, this bright new spring growth can be and should be pinched uh, with the fingers as I'm showing there. You hold the remaining of the growth that will stay in the tree with one hand, and you pull the what you want to remove with the other, and a bud will form at the extremity for next year. The remaining growth will mature, and as you perform this action, you are balancing energy, and you are giving a chance to elongating growth that you do not pinch to further grow, as well as you may stimulate latent buds along the branch to open and start growing. But those pinched areas will no longer grow, they will mature, and you should always leave some section, some fraction of the new growth there. The length that you decide to keep is based on static considerations and energy distribution. In this case, this tree is one of the pair of the snowman compositions, so the wind-swept um, design mimicking the logo of the Progressive Bonsai Collective that itself mimics a famous white pine in Georgian Bay. So here is the result. As you will notice, I did not touch the lowest most branch in the tree, and this is because that is a sacrifice branch. I want a little more taper, so eventually I will remove it entirely, but for now it will stay there. I will, in this tree, then manage any further growth as it appears or is stimulated by this action during the season. Um, so this is a continuous action. It's not just in the spring, but in the case of spruce, unless you have growth that you didn't touch or growth that is stimulated by this action, you will you will not have much more growth, in my experience. The next case here is Larix laricina, also a snowman composition, the second of them. Both of them are designed to be identical or as similar as possible. The, the action here is the same. In the case of the larch, this pinching of the new growth will stimulate further growth, and you have to take this action several times during the season. Um, in terms of sustainable design, it's interesting to always plan for the future replacement of either coarse tips with more finer tips or entire branches with internal growth that take place. So this is how this tree can be kept and will be kept in the same image forever, with without ever stopping to let the tree grow. Instead of trying to starve the tree or not have it grow, the idea is always to select an internal growth in a branch that will eventually replace the entire branch. In that way, the tree can continue to grow, but the image remains approximately the same. In the larch also, you can and you should um, remove the bottom growing needles to delineate the pads, and this will also allow you to unwire the tree when necessary. Otherwise, it will become a bush, and it will be impossible to remove all the wire when necessary. And this is it for the larch, for this larch in terms of the technique. And the last tree that I want to show here today is again a larch. This was repotted this spring from nursery stock, sorry, from pre-bonsai stock. This is a Yamadori tree that was collected in 2018, and it responded really well to the repot that you can see in one of my previous videos. And although the tree is not styled here, I know which areas I don't need any further elongation. So I'm pinching those areas, and this will stimulate internal ramification. And some areas I'm leaving without pinching to stimulate growth, and I will revisit in the second time that I will be pinching this tree, perhaps a month and a half later. So this tree is not styled. I'm not removing bottom needles because I'm not entirely sure what the bottom of any branch is, but I do know more or less which branches I don't want to elongate further, and I prefer to induce internal ramification. This is how I deal with grow management in elongating species in the spring. I hope this was useful to you, and until the next one, bye bye for now.